People say, may I help you? Ask yourself, may I help myself? Give yourself permission to help yourself. Because if you're always thinking about making the change, never doing anything about it, you're never going to see that change. Good morning and welcome into Motivational Monday. Good morning, Trish. Good morning, Reality Rose. Welcome. I'd like to ask you guys, by starting out, did you have anything that inspired you over the weekend? Trish, thank you for sharing that beautiful music coming from your mother's voice. Truly, I was inspired. And my next question is, what are you thankful for and why? What are you thankful for and why? I'm thankful that I feel better. I have not been feeling so well, but I am getting there. And I'm happy to be with all of you on this Motivational Monday. Ling, good morning and welcome to Vibe Talk. Vibe Talk is live on Facebook, and that is where you can find us. We're going to take a call, not that we usually do at this time, but I'm going to let this be an exception. Good morning. Good morning. I believe I was Ling. Did you want to call in? Good morning. I was trying to get your call and somehow lost it. I don't know what that means, Trish. Reality Rose, can you help me decipher what's being said there? What does LMU, what does let me up mean? What does that mean? We say in this room, good morning, and we ask the question, what are you thankful for? And we will let you call in. I'm going to, good morning, I'm giving you the button. Good morning, Reality Rose. Good morning, good morning. There you go. Good morning. We have both of our managers here. Thank you both for being here. You both do such a great job in helping me to manage here. Ling, if you're still here, we are taking phone calls. This week is going to be a very special week. Why is that? Because we are going to be promoting Facing the Lion, facing our challenges. We're going to see how facing our challenges can be powerful instead of powerless. We're going to be opening up the phone lines to see how you face your lions and what it is that you're facing. We're going to listen to you all week. So all week, in addition to Friday's Facing the Lion, that's what we're going to be doing. And no, I have not run out of things to talk about. Never will that happen. But I think facing challenges. Good morning, Stuart. I think facing challenges are something that we can look at over and over again because we're all facing them. If it's not one thing, it's another. Reality Rose says, I'm thankful for going to the beach and getting in the water this weekend. Why? Because it was cleansing. I love the beach as well. I'm glad you got to do that. Good morning, Stuart. Welcome into Motivational Monday. So all this week, we're going to be featuring Vibe Talk Facing the Lions. I think it does us well to have a variety of segments. Sometimes you'll come in, we'll have a segment. That means that it'll be about one specific subject, but on a broad spectrum, like we just had the family one. This week is going to be Facing the Lions. And remember, we are going to listen to your challenges. If you know of anyone, if you know of any inspiration, someone that you want them to tell their story, please let them guide them here. We want to hear. Because, see, it's your story that's going to inspire others. Trish says, I'm thankful for my porch. Love sitting outside, relaxing, and sipping my coffee. It's very peaceful. Peace is magic. We all need that calming and peacefulness. That's what the beach does for me, is calming. That's why I love the beach all year long, because when you hear those waves, very calming. And with so many things that we are facing today, we need that peace of mind and that calming. We need that. And that's why I thought about it to feature Facing the Lions all week. Because boy, are we living in some times. We've got a lot going on in and around us. Around the world, there are things going on. And so people need to talk. This is not something that we're going to take for granted. We want to use these platforms to be able to speak what is on our minds. What's on our minds? And how often are we able to do that? How often do we feel like people aren't hearing us individually? People aren't listening. People aren't understanding. Well, this is your week to rethink, because we're going to listen this week. I don't know if you guys got to see the product before we go on. I don't know if you've got to see the Vibe Talk merchandise. We're going to have tumbler cups. We're going to have shirts. It is in the making. Did you guys all see it? I sent it to you. Trish sent it to you. Reality Rose. It's so exciting. And Vibe Talk is going to be trying to help others get inspired. Trish says, glad you're feeling better, thank you. And yes, I saw it. OMG, I'm in love. We want people. Top 10 guys. There you have it. We want people who have woken up with Vibe Talk to feel energized. Lion is placed just so. Thank you, Reality Rose, for picking that lion because I couldn't have found a better lion. I just thought that was so perfect. Reality Rose says, I saw them too. I love them. Thank you. Thank you. And so we're going to have things like that. We're going to do some things as we already did in our meeting. We looked at the things that we're going to make on canvases. You all were so grateful for that. Add to it, okay, because people are going to want different colors. We're going to start out with one color and make available different colors. So just thank you for all of your ideas, all of your thoughts, all of just your brain, because I need that. I need you guys to be my second and third brains. So challenges. How many of us have them? Challenges. Every day we are facing challenges. Ocean Starlight, welcome in. We all are facing challenges. But I ask you today, what challenges are you facing? We're going to be here all week from Monday to Friday facing our challenges. Your challenge, the one that you say, how do I fix this? Because this keeps coming. What do I need to do? Because this thing keeps facing me. You know that lion comes in many forms. Today is your day to inspire someone else. We all have challenges. I wake up, my challenge might be, I got a back pain. And I'm not feeling so great. I got arthritis. I'm not feeling so great. But then, now over here, Trisha might be feeling this way. And over there, Brianna's feeling this way. And over here, Stuart's feeling this way. Challenge us. By the time Friday gets here, Friday evening, you will be empowered for whatever it is you're facing, whatever lion you face. Sometimes there are small lions, and other times there are very big, giant lions. Why do we call it that? Because it's appropriately so that we call facing the lion what we do, because every day presents an opportunity to challenge our strength. Because you see, in order for us to get to, we have to come through. Every day, you've got to face that lion. And in order to face that lion, you must muster up strength and courage. And you must come through. Strength to struggle. Struggle to strength. Always remember that. For without those lions, you, ladies and gentlemen, would not have become the person that you are. So say hello to yourself today. Welcome yourself. Because we know there are challenges. I know that there are challenges. Because you see, I too face challenges. And that's why we're going to stick with this all week, but in different variations of things. And you're going to be able to tell me how you have been helped. Because when we say challenges, boy, some people are challenged just from the gas prices alone here in California, where other people are not really hit with the gas prices, not just yet. While other people are facing family crises, loss of a loved one, jobless. This pandemic has wreaked havoc on every last one of us. And if that isn't enough, you've got fighting families. Families who are not getting along. You know who you are. Then, on top of that, you're dealing with your children's problems and what they're facing. Peer pressure, cyberbullying. So many to deal with. And that's why we're going to talk about that. So what are some of the challenges that you all have faced? Let's start with us in this room. Us in this room. Because in order for us to help anybody that's going to be calling on that phone, and I guarantee you it's going to happen this week. What are some challenges that you all have faced? Mine has started out with the pain that I have been feeling, pinched nerve, arthritis. That has been a true challenge because if you know anything about me, you already know that I just don't lay down. Every day is my fight to present Vibe Talk. And if I'm not doing Vibe Talk, I'm on the go. But self-care, thinking about me being able to care enough about myself to just sit still. Just sit still. I did that for 2 days. And that's why we didn't have Facing the Lion on Friday. So we're going to have it so much this week that you're going to sleep facing the lion. Our manager, Reality Rose, says, I'm facing the challenge of being a mom. I've faced myself quite a few times lower than I want to be. I also have been faced with little self-care as well. I have been lacking self-care. It's so important. And so, being a parent, I realize the importance of being in your better self to care for your children. And of course, we do put our children first. We put our children first. But we cannot be at our best until we are facing with wellness in mind. Because whatever we're feeling is going to come off to those children. Whatever we're feeling. If we're feeling anxiety, it's going to come off like that to those children. And so we have to ask ourselves, okay, step back, look into ourselves. And that's what Vibe Talk gives you a chance to do, to be able to look at yourself and say, what am I doing here? I see you. What am I doing here? And so when we, by admission, begin to say, okay, there's something going on here that's not too right, with our honesty, we say, no, I did something wrong. And you guys are doing that. You parents, you moms and you dads. We have parents in here. And believe me, as a mother to older ones, the challenge of being that parent never goes away. Because you're going to worry about your children. But self-caring, sometimes when our children are very young, we need to give them their little space as we need to give ourselves. You know, sometimes we're used to telling our children, go to your room. How many of you have told yourself to go to your room? Let's start with that. We're talking to the parents who are facing challenges. See, we need to know when to go to our room. That sets a boundary, even for the little guys. Good morning, Josh. Good morning, good morning. We're talking about facing the lion. All week we're going to be talking about different things. Good morning. Nice to see you here again. What are you thankful for, Josh, and why? I wanted to read Trisha's statement. She said challenges for her, losing friends, self-love was a big challenge for her. Josh, what challenges are you facing? What challenges are you facing? And that's what we're talking about all week. We're going to be taking phone calls. We're going to invite other people to come in and be able to talk about challenges that they face. Right now we're talking about parents and their having to face their challenge. Raising children is no ma'am, no sir, by any means easy. Because why? We say, we've got stuff going on. Trish, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that. We say, we've got stuff going on. And so, when our children are dealing with things, it compounds what we're already going through. So what advice would we give? Would we give to the parents out there? Because I'll bet you every parent is feeling some kind of challenge. See, our little guys, when they're acting and behaving, Brianna says, or go to the bathroom. I like that. So we want to think about this. How can we help parents to deal with challenging times? Josh says, I've been facing trying to get back into post-COVID life and not wanting to make someone else money for my hard work. I want to be my own boss. Love it, love it. So Josh, are you currently working on a business? Look at the challenges we all have. Some are physical challenges, some are mental challenges, some are financial challenges, and some are just challenges within ourselves. I was my own boss for a long time, Josh. I had a carpet cleaning company, and I hired contractors to put down carpet for us. It was quite a nice business. You want to be your own boss. I love that. Takes a lot of self-discipline. What challenges, what stops you from doing that? Oh yeah, you said you worked 5 years for a HVAC mechanical company. And what are the challenges that you're facing right now as you're working for that company? Maybe I shouldn't ask it like that. Are you facing any challenges? Yeah, takes money to make money. But don't give up, Josh, because I used to say that. In fact, here's how I started out. I used to work for this company, and it was a carpet cleaning company. A guy came out, and he gave away all his ideas of how he became a carpet cleaning business. Well, myself, I was one of the top salespersons there. And I thought to myself, why am I here after he made that speech? Why am I here when I could be starting my own company? So here's what I did. I started thinking about that. And I mean literally that one week. I asked for my check and I left. And then I started my own company. I had clients by the following week. So don't ever give up becoming your own person. That business lasted. I mean, people are still calling about it. I don't do it anymore. I used to go out clean people's carpet. And then my boys got old enough. My ex-husband said, well, uh, maybe you should just stay home with the kids. Oh, no. No, we weren't doing that. And that business lasts a long time. I'd still be doing it if it wasn't for my broken body. Your mom, your mom, hey, ask her how she's feeling. Just mom said she needs a rug doctor. But yeah, never give up on your dreams. Sometimes we're challenged. We say, oh, well, we don't have enough money to start our own businesses. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, it takes money, but we're laughing about the rug doctor. I didn't have a carpet cleaner when I first started that business. I listened to that man long enough to know I'm going to go out here. And I went to Albertsons and I rented a rug doctor. And I remember my very first company, my very first client was a little old man. I didn't know what I was doing with that rug doctor, but that little old man gave me the opportunity. Facing the lion. Little old man, I'll never forget him. But I guess I did a good enough job. And then, when I made enough money, I went out and bought my own carpet cleaning. Facing the lion. I was going through a lot of changes then. But I did that. I was ever determined. Trish says, her mom says she's feeling well and blessed. You're very welcome. So rug doctors, every time I see a rug doctor, because I said to myself, how am I going to face this? Because I don't have a carpet cleaner. So I went and rented one. Back then they were like, $19 to rent? So I would keep renting until I saved up enough money to go buy my own. I had that business for a very long time, all because of that man. You see, I am will and determined. Those two things I took with me. Because I too said, I'm not going to work for somebody else. I'm going to go out here and pocket all my own money. That business lasted a long time. I kind of wish, because my boys are older now, that they would have really applied themselves and maybe hired out to someone else, and they would have had their own, the business still would be running. Josh says, I'm just torn between what I want to do. I've been a carpenter, boat mechanic, a havoc tech. So you are a tradesman. I love that. So just keep believing and you'll achieve it. Even with the contractors that were laying down carpets, we made good money doing that. Because I paid them a percentage. And I was able to keep the money. I was able to keep the money that I made. Facing challenges. So when we think about challenges, what are some challenges that you think others have had to face? Because we're going to really talk about this in depth all week. Believe me, it's a broad spectrum. Going back to parenting. Trish, if your mom is still in the room, ask her for me. Does she think that being a parent is challenging? Would you please? I want to hear her response to that. If she's still there. So many of us are facing things. We want calls. We want people to call in this week. We want to listen. We want to be listeners who are hearing them voice their challenges. Just as my best friend since childhood just broke her neck and broke his neck, and shattered his vertebrae. He has to learn how to do everything again at 30 years old. Wow. 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 Now that's a challenge. How about that? Listen to you guys' story. Trish says, Mom says it's very, very challenging. She says parents give up a lot of time for children. Look at that. Thank you. Tell your mother thank you. Brianna says, I believe that every parent goes through things like this and loses their you-know-what sometimes. And boy, do we ever. And then we go through the guilt and the shame because we had to talk crazy to our children. But we do that. Why? Because we love them. Because we love them. There's not one parent that I've ever talked to that has not lost it. I lose it on my grown kids. But why? Because we are parents. We sacrifice, like Trisha's mom said. We sacrifice our time, our energies. Even when they're little, they don't realize all the sacrifices we have to do. Just being there is a challenge. But I applaud you, parents, because you could have walked out. You could have decided you didn't want to do this. Because there are some parents, rather than feeling like they want to face those challenges with their children, they leave them. The foster care system is full of children that the parents did not want to face the challenge. Brianna says she feels depleted. Yeah. Trish says, Mom says it's very, oh, I just read that, I'm sorry. Trish says, I know that they sacrifice a lot for me personally, being my birth defect was a challenge. Yeah, yeah. See, so while they're young, teach them, talk to them. Because little kids are very smart. Little kids are very, very smart. Sometimes our energies as parents, we get up, we're taking them to school, making lunches, picking them up, talking to them. All of it are teaching points. But again, I applaud you parents because so many of our children are in foster systems. Here in the state of California, Los Angeles County courts, there are floors and floors and floors and floors of children that have been put in the system. Think about that. I think about, my mother raised 7 kids. I know this because I'm the 7th. And she always says that. I raised 7 kids. And for you mothers that have had more than one, it can be challenging because you're dealing with different personalities while you're trying to deal with yourself. So I applaud the parents that are up for the challenges. You single parents, I applaud you, myself being included, because I chose to be single. You mothers, you fathers, you're doing it. You could give up. I watched the movie So True to Life, and this mother decided that she was going to just abandon her 3 children. And the movie just depicted the father fighting for those children. Fighting for those children because he had lost them in the system that took back place in the early 1940, I would say, something like that. Pierce Bronson was in this movie. I love me some Pierce Bronson. But he fought for those kids. And that's your challenge. You fight for those children. Josh, I'm sorry. Josh was saying him and his son, Grayson is his name. I like that name. Are starting Little League Baseball this week. So when you parents, thank you for that, Josh, because you parents, when you're feeling at odds, or you're feeling like, I just can't do this one more day, think about little projects you could do together. With my mom, I know we would color, because it was coloring is calming. By the way, don't forget about our assignments, guys. So we're going to be taking a look at those in the next week. I'm going to be honest right here and right now. I need to play catch up, and I'm going to do that. Trish says she's working on it. Find little quiet craft things. Do some baking, make cookies together. If it's a rainy day, do some things where you guys can sit and talk things out. I'm a wellness coach, and my best advice is to find that quiet time. First, go to your room. In this case, when things are heightened up, everybody go to your room. Because we're so used to telling our children, go to your room. I know when mine were younger, I used to tell them all the time, especially when they were teenagers. You stay here, I'm going to my room. I used to literally say that, and I'm so glad that I would do that. Except the problem with that is that they will come to the door. To this day, my kids do that. I go to my room. Well, one doesn't live here. I go to my room. Because, see, that was my boundary. That was where it was going to be safe for me and that child. Sometimes we just need that to collect ourselves. Even in relationships, when we're feeling challenged in relationships, try to go to your room. Some of us are not disciplined enough to just go to our room because we are in charge of everything. But I promise you, if you apply that go to your room, you're going to calm down. You're going to calm down from level 10. Even if you're at a 3, you've calmed down. Try it and see. Josh says, I try and ask Grayson what he learned every day when he gets home from school. LOL. Sometimes I can't get anything out of him, but most days he keeps me updated. Yeah. See, challenge of a father. I love that. Thank you for that. So when we're feeling down or we're feeling upset, give yourself time out. I used to have people cracking up because I would say, I needed a timeout. Because maybe if the child doesn't need a timeout, maybe you need a timeout. So give yourself the rule of, I'm going to stay in this room for about 5 minutes. 5 minutes of just a timeout does a lot. I wished, and I want to say this for you parents that are facing this challenge, I wish that those floors that are in the Los Angeles County courts, I wish they weren't so full. And I wish that a lot of parents would think about those timeouts. Because you see, those parents, something happened. They lost their challenge. But I want you to be a win-win, knowing how to decipher. Families are under extreme pressures. Mothers and fathers having to work. Mothers and fathers only getting the energy of the children instead of having someone there who they can bounce off of and say, yeah, I know what that's like, being a parent. And I want today, if any of you are listening out there and you'll be listening later, I want you to call in tomorrow. Even today, we're building time for you to call in because you're going to be able to help someone who is feeling like they just can't take it another minute. Trish says, I'll be listening, helping mom. Okay, you're going to be signing into school today. I'm excited. Let us know how that went. Josh says the biggest challenge I have is to keep him interested in trying new things, especially when it's not his own idea. Listen to this father talk. I love this. Thank you, Josh. So, facing challenges, using time after you do that, going to your room trick, it really works. Because if you don't do it, you're going to find yourself saying and doing some things that you wish you ought not have done. And that's hard to do because you know what you say to yourself, why do I got to go to my room? See, that's what we say. Yeah, you must go to your room. So I always establish that, especially when the teenagers come because they get mouthy and you want to really, you start turning into the superhero the wrong way. It's like I'm going to my room. And I want to help you to understand something. Proper discipline is always needed. I don't know any parent on this earth that is against proper disciplining. We're not talking about abuse. We're talking about proper discipline. I'll tell you, my parents whooped my behind on many a days, and it didn't hurt me. I sit here today, and I'm so thankful for the whoopings I got. I'm so thankful. I'm a better person. So for all those who are listening, however you're going to do discipline is up to you. Welcome back, Stuart. But proper disciplining never hurt anyone. It's the abuse that has hurt a child. Josh says I try to lead by example so I can't get onto him if I don't follow the same rules. He calls me out if I do. I like that. See, building a standard. Thank you for that. And we're sticking with families because we realize that families are challenged. Families are not what they used to be. When I was raised in the 70s, single parent families, I didn't know about those things. I only knew there was mother and father. Now you've either got mother or father, and it's rare that you have both. And it's a good thing when you see both. When I was teaching, I always encouraged both parents to be just as involved with their children. And we've talked about that before. So it's nice to be able to hear Josh make these sentiments. But I tell you, parents that are feeling depleted, feeling like not another minute of this, give yourself a timeout. It can be done. I know. I have children. Now they're older. It won't get any better because then they start mouthing you. Well, those teenage years come, what, about 10, 11? 10 at 11, they start changing. Some girls, little girls will do it a little earlier. Trish says, yes, I'm raised with both parents, and when I was younger, I questioned how they didn't have a mom or dad, but now I understand. Brianna says, I have to become more consistent because most times I'm not one of them. Oh, I'm reading that wrong. I'm sorry. Most times I'm outnumbered. And so when it's not one of them, it's two. If not two, there's three. I want to pull my hair out. Ask your mother, Trish, if she's ever felt like that she just wanted to pull her hair out. Please ask her that, and let's hear what she says. I don't know what your name is. Could you please clarify that? You that just came in, good morning. I see cat eyes, but could you... Good morning and welcome. What are you thankful for and why? Because how many times did we feel like we wanted to pull our hair out? Trish, ask your mom. So it's relatable. It's relatable. I even asked my mom. My mom says, well, it was 7 of you guys, and I being the one that had to be at the hospital the most. I was the only one. So I look back at that and I'm so thankful for her. But she did it. We didn't turn out so bad. we didn't turn out so bad. What are you thankful for and why? What are you... And we're asking the question, what challenges are you facing? Trish says her mom says, oh my goodness, with all 17 of us, she had her days, but she loves us the most. I love that. Tell your mother thank her so much for joining in this conversation, because we want parents to know we see you. It takes a parent. Josh, thank you for your input. She says you're welcome. And to Brianna, she says she feels you. You see, thank you, Mom, for that. Because we have people in here that really, really need some answers, some help. Remember, some guidance. I don't always have the answers. I can just tell you from experience what I did. She says, and I know I'm not alone. I know other parents go through this, but nobody wants to talk about it. Yeah. Isn't that true that nobody wants to talk about it? So tell your mama, thank her, give her a hug for me, because I appreciate her. Josh says, I try and remember back when I was a child, when I want to get upset, I'll tell him what's about to, I don't know. Yes, understand, eyes. I just wanted you to be able to talk about whatever was on your heart, is all. I understand that. Thank you for clarifying that you weren't trolling. I appreciate that. Josh says happens, so it's on himself when it goes. Okay. So Josh just says he's trying to remember when he was a child, what that was like. And you're right. Nobody wants to talk about that. Why is that? Because no parent wants to feel like they failed, right? Ask your mom if she's ever hollered at you, Trish. Yes. Yeah. That hollering is not coming from a place of hate. coming from a place of frustration. We've all done it. We've all done it. Ice, do you want to, what is it that you need to forgive? All this week we're facing challenges. What are some of the challenges, Ice, that you have? Brianna says they call some parents unfit because they lose it. I suffered from postpartum depression from my first child, and I'm sure I still carry it with me due to the trauma of having kids in the relationship. I've had a few really bad days and I'm struggling. We understand that. We so understand that, Brianna, and I'm glad that you're at a place where you can talk about it. I hope your mom's still in the room, Trish. Is your mom still in the room? Because I want to say something to her. Because I appreciate her input as a mom. Jason, thank you for joining. And you said your challenge. What about your mother, please? What is it about your mother that you're faced with, please? Yes, tell her thank her because her input means so much. She's a regular listener too. She's a regular listener. And so when we talk about how we feel, Brianna, it just helps you to know that we've been through it. I got a 22-year-old and a 30-year-old. They make me talk crazy to them. And then I feel bad. But then I look at them and I say, wow, when I think I failed them, I see that they've grown up. Sometimes they don't listen to me. That's frustrating. You think they don't listen to you when they're little? Wait till they become older. There's a saying, when they're little, they step on your feet. But as they grow older, they step on your heart. And that's what they do. So I just want you to know that is a real challenge, baby. Josh, I appreciate you too joining in this conversation. Here is something from Trisha's mom because they're running. Her Trisha's mom says, if you know you do your best as a parent, you know you're doing okay. Do your best. And that's what I see from you. It's nice to have Josh interchange. Stuart, we don't forget about you. Your power is quiet. We want to read these comments from Eyes. It says that recently the health declined and tried to speak to my estranged mother of over 10 years. Hold on. I felt maybe this should be the time to reach out just in case there was any way to repair the relationship, to know I really tried because I'm not sure if I took myself away out of spite, but it was the same old same and just really hurt me again. So I just told her that I'm really sick and I just wanted to let her know she shouldn't expect me to ever answer her call again. Okay, so the challenges you face are with your mom. Have you always been that way? Talking about challenges. Challenges. What, let me ask you something. What started that? Do you want to call in? Because This is a week that we are just letting you guys call in, even during the podcast, because we're going to talk about facing the lions. You may call in, eyes, if you want to. So you felt like you were always the resentment child. Why do you feel that way? Was that ever... Why do you feel that way? Was that ever said to you? Or did you just take that on yourself? I want to thank everybody for joining in. And you men out there, appreciate... Josh, I appreciate your being able to chime in with your son Grayson. So the way you were born, the way you were treated, he says he's going to find the headphones so they can call in. I know, Josh, we enjoy having you and Stuart. Stuart's so quiet, and Stuart's listening from work. So we appreciate you gentlemen, your point of view. And we thank you, Trish, for allowing your mother to be able to give her input. We'll ask her from time to time. Tell her I'm a bugger from time to time during these lives, because her input is important. So we're going to have a call from the eyes that's going to come and be able to help us understand. And that's what we're doing. We're helping people to face their lions all this week. See what you guys get. And so what I want to say to Brianna is, Brianna, being a parent is challenging. I used to say the craziest stuff to my kids. But at the end of the day, they know you love them. Sometimes you feel like you want to beat the snot out of them. But you know what? It was you who thought to calm down. I've been there many a days. One time my kids, I know you guys are going to laugh at this because it's pretty funny. It's not funny when it's happening, but it was, now that I look back on it, I go, boy, they really challenged me. They were going around, I don't know what they were thinking, but being boys, if you're a boy then or a man, you know how silly you were between the ages of 12 and 16. And I had told them before we went to eat, I said, please guys, don't embarrass me. So they're always just doing the craziest stuff at the most inappropriate time. So we were in a hometown buffet out here in California, and they were walking around, and I went to get my food, and I saw them, and they were acting like they had been doing this all week, acting like they were waitresses. Waiters, I'm sorry. We're still waiting for you, eyes. We're still waiting. So anytime you want to call, Josh, he already knows this is going to be funny. This is going to be funny, but it was not at the time. So, they were dressed handsome little gentlemen. And I said, please don't embarrass me. Please don't. I begged them, please don't. Gonna go out, have a nice dinner. So you know how when you go to a buffet, okay, you're getting your food, and I look over into my far distance, they're walking around with their plates in their hands like the waiters and waitresses do. And my heart starts beating because I'm not close enough to tell them to knock it off. And I see them doing this with their food. Sure enough, all the foods, they drop the plate. My oldest drops the plate. Kaplam! Right onto the table. So embarrassed. And so, So I'm already embarrassed. I go over to the table. These are big kids, right? And I said, I'm so embarrassed. Clean that up right now. Though his younger brother, which is my 22-year-old, he was probably 10 at the time. He has a drink and he's balancing it on his hand. He comes over to the table and it spills all over the place. So here's what I did, because I've about lost it then. I said, I'll tell you what, we're leaving right now. This, Mom, are you serious? You paid for it. No, we're leaving. I'm not going to stay there. I'm already embarrassed enough with those people looking at us. So if that helps you, Brianna, wait till they become teenagers. Josh says me and my friends were so silly growing up. Just things I think back on, like what did I do that? And Teresa says, oh my goodness, that sounds like me. And my two big brothers, we're a mess. Yeah, imagine that. Challenges the family faces. But out of those challenges comes strength. Because you think you're having a bad day and you look over at some children that aren't with their parents. You still have your kids, no matter how you feel. You're not in court having to get your kids. Some of those parents, they just leave their kids in the system. I know, because I was in the education business. Brianna says, me and my sisters drove my mom crazy when we went out. She says, geez, that gives me a whole other perspective. Yeah, but it's good to talk it out. And that's why we have Vibe Talk. We're going to be facing our lions all week. Oh, here's a call right here. Sorry about that. Okay, guys. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
How are you? And I called you a guy. I'm sorry, baby.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay. I'm hearing like a feedback to you. So
I have something on it. It's probably because the phone is charging at the same time.
it's all you, baby. You wanna
So can you hear
tell
me
us?
today?
I can hear you. Can everybody else hear her?
Okay, so yeah, that was basically what it was. And I actually am having a really hard time with that just because, I try to be, I try to be as positive and, as I can, but then I start letting myself go and giving into toxic behavior just because I want to, let things out lot. But at the same time, it's like, how am I being authentic to myself and exposing myself to what I know is not my behavior to it, and just mentally diminishing myself every time I interact with her? Is it worth it?
Mm-hmm.
And why am I doing her this favor?
Mm-hmm. So
I struggle with that all the time.
So your mom and you, how long have you guys had this type of relationship?
It's interesting just because, like I said, it was like from the way I was born, it was just like, again, it's just stories. I can't really, it's not like I really remember what happened when I was born, but
Right.
I do have telltale traits of those stories being true, though, like still physically in my body. Mm-hmm. So, and I can speculate, I guess, a little bit. And just my whole upbringing, I know my brother and my sister were treated a lot different than I was. I was the youngest. I don't know if that makes any difference or whatever, but I was the youngest and I was definitely not the dumbest.
Okay. So
she's just there was just a lot of things that were happening in the house that was just like I knew was not coming from a good nurturing place, you know.
So can I ask you this question?
Mm-hmm.
What do you remember most? What is, if I ask you to name a memory, what could you tell me that you remember that was challenging or traumatic to you?
There was a lot.
What's the first thing that comes to your mind?
My actual first memory that I have at all, because I blocked out like most of my everything, I think was when I was 9 years old and I was just like crying in a corner. I was crying, begging God, please give me the disease, please tell me, please take me from here. And I remember my mom coming in like really upset because I shared a room with my sister. And I guess my sister heard me crying and she was annoyed. So she went and told my mom that I wouldn't leave her alone. I couldn't go to sleep. And I was hollering and whatever. And so I guess she came in to reprimand me and she just started smacking me and like, are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Do you need to take you to the mental house? And like, just, and I had no idea what that was about.
Do you remember what you were crying about?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't remember what it was about. I just remember that
you were crying. Yeah.
Like devastated.
So your mother chose to handle it in that way.
Yeah, and it was just a series of those types of things, and it came to a point where like there was a lot of things that happened, and I just wouldn't tell my mother about it just because I didn't want to fear the callousness of her not caring about what I said, or very severe things. Like I've been a victim of rape. I've been abuse and things that I told her, and she just pretends like never happened.
Yeah. My manager, I have my assistant manager and my manager on the line. Brianna, our manager, says she can relate to what you're saying. You mentioned something that is a challenge, and we're going to talk about that this week. Women who are assaulted. You were raped. How old were you when that happened?
Oh, it was. I can't even count all the times on my hand anymore. It was just a lot of things that happened, especially because of the environment that my mom.
No, but I'm asking you, the ones. How old were you?
Actually, and it wasn't just her. Like, oh, it was bad times, and
Okay, stop for a moment.
Hello. I could understand.
Hello. 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 Stop for a moment, please. My question was, how old were you when the rape occurred?
Like I said, it's been a series of times. It's been a lot of times.
Okay, the first time it happened, ma'am.
15, maybe?
Okay, 15.
No.
You were 15?
Well, that I can clearly...
Okay.
I can clearly remember.
Okay. Welcome those who have come in. We're talking about challenges we face. So, you were at home, and did you ever tell your mother that happened?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
What was her response?
That I should stop being a hoe.
Oh, wow. Now, you and I both know that that's not right.
No, I know that, and this is why it challenges me to even speak to her and look at her as a mother to me, because it's like that's not the kind of response you're supposed to give your daughter. Right. When she tells you these things.
So she told you that, and the first time that your mother, our managers are agreeing and saying they can relate to you. They can relate. They can relate to friends who have been through that, or they themselves who have been through that. Thank you guys so much. What is your name? Can you give me an initial? Because I know your name is not Eyes.
Stacy.
What'd you say?
Stacy.
Stacy. Stacy. I'm Nisi. I'm a wellness coach. I want to say to you, Stacy, that you're doing something different today. You're reaching out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I mean, I'm over those kinds of things. I'm just what challenges me is, again, like I said, I'm not in the best of health now, so it, I'm at peace and I'm happy that I'm leaving off early. Like I feel like, oh, that 9-year-old girl's dream is finally coming true, you know. And I don't feel it in a desolate way. I feel it in a more empowering and bigger and kind of like I can't wait to get out of here. Like I have tickets to Disneyland.
And what dream is that? What are you? Because I read what you said. Is that
Yeah, that.
okay? And you're saying you can't wait to get out of here. Are you terminally ill?
It's not terminal yet, but I was. It is going to be my. I don't know how soon I was scheduled for biopsies and things, and I just haven't gotten around to doing them. Like again, I don't. I've already made the plan to deteriorate instead of trying to get better.
So you're not terminally ill. I'm just trying to decipher that.
Yeah, no, not at the moment, but it is becoming a possibility and an actuality. So.
Okay, is it because you want it that way, or because?
Yeah, kind of both. Yeah, kind of. I'm just kind of over the challenges, you know. So I'd rather know which one I'm facing and focus on that and just be done.
So are you facing a physical challenge now, would you say, or more of an...
Yeah.
Okay, so the physical challenge is what your ailment is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so, do you have any kind of support system? Let me start by asking you.
I really don't.
Well, this is your support system.
I've been estranged from my whole family.
Did you hear what I said?
Especially in these past.
This is your support system. This is free. Okay. This is free. This is your support system.
Thank you.
You're welcome to be here.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome to be here. You see, we have conversations. Every day is a different day. And that's why we want to reach out to people as a podcast, because we know that people are facing. You have a physical thing that's going on, and whatever has happened in your life, I want you to know, just by you being here, just by us hearing you, that's strength, Stacy. Your voice is strength. Because so many people here said they related to you. And you're going to help somebody today by this phone call. Just know that.
Yeah.
I want you to be able to...
You know, I don't feel any like malice or anything. I'm just like, I honestly reached out just because like I felt it was my moral duty, I guess, to just...
You're talking about with your mom?
Align myself.
With your mom?
Yeah.
How long have you and your mom not spoken? Good morning, Debbie.
Before that was like about 10 years.
Okay, so before that it was 10 years, but now how long have you not spoken?
It was like maybe 4 or 5 days ago.
Okay. You said 5 years? 4 or 5 years?
5 days ago.
Okay. So you speak, but your conversation, would you say they're more negative or positive?
something more negative. Yeah, no, we don't speak. That was the first time in like 10 years that I've spoken to her.
Okay. And so with the same...
she's constantly trying to reach out. She's constantly trying to... But again, I've told her before how I feel about it, and she just does not respect my boundaries whatsoever.
Okay, and when you say she doesn't respect your boundaries, give me an example. Please and thank you.
I've asked her to not call me anymore because I don't like the way our conversations go.
Absolutely.
And she still calls and feels like, oh, I don't know if she thinks like if she just keeps calling, there's going to be some breakthrough and I'm going to give in. And that's what it is. It's always her trying to get me to give in and submit to her.
So,
like, make me do her will and her whatever she wants.
So let me ask you, when your mom calls, do you pick up the phone?
No, I do not. I have her blocked.
Okay. So now she's blocked. You've taken care of that. And so, what can you do now?
I mean, I guess that's really just deal with the fact that it's over, but I mean, I don't know. I want to, but at the same time, like I'm not a bad person. I'm not.
What
I'm
do
not
you want to do? What do you? What do you?
In the middle of
Stacy, Stacy, stop. Because I want you to be able to hear yourself. It's really important that you listen to yourself. I think Vibe Talk, when you're in Vibe Talk, listen to yourself. What is it that you now want to do? And I want you, because after you say it, I'm going to have you repeat it. So I'm asking this.
Yes.
You want to be at peace?
With my decision, yeah.
Okay. So now I want you to say it like this. I, Stacy, want to be at peace with my decisions. I can't hear you.
I, Stacy, want to be at peace with my decisions.
Okay, and what is the first decision that you want to be at peace with?
Letting her go.
You want to let who go?
My mother.
Okay, so I want you to repeat that to me and hear the power of your words. You ready? I, Stacy, want to be at peace with letting my mother go.
I, Stacy, want to be at peace with letting my mother go.
Okay, did you hear yourself?
Yeah.
What does Stacy want for herself? Now I want you to tell me without being coached.
Growth and tranquility.
Okay, so you want tranquility, and you said the very first thing you wanted to be at peace with whom? I'm sorry?
My decision.
Your decisions, right? Is there anything in your way that's stopping you from having that kind of access to be able to make that possible from your challenges? Is there anything in your way right now that is making that impossible for you to have peace of mind and peace of heart?
My own anger.
Okay, now you've brought up another thing. Good job, Stacy. So now you've said your anger. Do you have a pen or anything you can write on right now?
Yep, I always have a notebook handy.
Okay, so I want you to write, the only thing that stops me from having peace. I want you to say this first. The only thing that stops me, Stacy, from having peace is my anger. Can you repeat that?
Only thing that keeps me, Stacy, from having peace is my anger.
Okay. Do you hear yourself talking?
Yeah.
That's so important, to hear ourselves speak. right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the work that we do in here. Now, Stacy, I want you to write that, but then I want you to tell me, what was it? What is it that has challenged your anger? What are you angry about? And if it's a lot of things, start with the thing that makes you the most angriest. Because it could be a lot of things. I don't know. What has made you the most angriest?
Angry people.
Angry people have made you angry.
Yes.
Okay, so are we speaking of one particular person?
No, this is the world. Like I'm just so fed up with people dealing with people's anger, the way they always just exude it, and like instead of feeling their emotions. Like I know my emotions. I know when I'm sad. I know when I'm genuinely frustrated. I am able to sift through my emotions, and it really angers me when people bottle up all the emotions, and the only ones that they allow themselves and anybody else around them to feel is anger and their rage. And it just is so unnecessary.
Okay. Do you have any control over that?
I don't, and I don't even have control over my own.
Yes, you do.
I don't know. I feel like
Yes,
I
you
do,
do.
but then I feel like it's like, okay.
Let me show you how.
You're just suppressing it. I feel like I'm just suppressing it because like it's always there, but I use my anger and it fuels me to just not be who I don't want to be.
So now let me help you. Let me help you to help yourself. You just acknowledged that you were angry. I would have never known that had you not got that out. Right?
Right.
So give what was that?
I don't know.
Hold on. My manager is saying something. Oh, what I want from you is to pay attention. I want you to pay attention to what you're saying, that's all. Because it's really important. I hear you, but the way I do work in here is to stop you when you speak so that you can hear yourself speak. Right?
Right.
Otherwise, I would just let you go on and on and on, and you'd be talking, and I want you to be able to hear yourself. So you're angry. Now, you can be angry at the world, right? Let me ask you, is it going to change anything?
I think so. I mean, I feel like if your exhaustion, like your frustrations are getting the best of you, especially ones that are out of your control, to at least be able to control them from being around you, I feel like that's a positive thing. And like, again, my annoyance is what fuels me to create the world I want to see.
Okay, so let me ask you this way. Are you in control of the world and its anger?
No.
Okay, that's the question that I was trying to ask. So if you're not in control of the world, what can you do? Let me show you how your power works. What can you do? Because you're not in control of the angry world out there. It does affect us. That's challenging, and I'm glad you brought that up. Now, what about yourself? Can you do anything about yourself?
I can cut off things that don't nourish me.
I'm sorry. Say that one more time. We are number one, guys. Finally. Number one. Did everybody see that? I want you to be able to say that again so they can hear you.
I forgot what I had said, but
we're talking about anger. You're in
Yeah.
control
I
of
mean,
yourself.
for me,
Did
yeah,
you?
it's just, cut off things that aren't nourishing me. Like,
Uh-huh.
it's not doing me any good to constantly be around people that work me up.
Yeah. Removing yourself, right?
And that's what I feel like done, honestly. I feel like that's what I did. And I feel like I am better for being able to, I am very proud of myself to be in the state that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And to be happy to be alone. Because I am. I'm truly the happiest when I'm alone. And it's not isolation, I don't think. And I don't feel like, because sometimes when people say when they're depressed, they go away from people or they isolate. And honestly, I don't feel like it's an isolation. I feel like it's more of me taking a breather, because it's like, oh man, nobody can hurt me right now.
Yes. All of us in here resonate with that. I know I do. So what I can do is gain access to myself. Just like you
yes,
can.
I absolutely have gone through a very extensive journey with myself. I meditate every night. I'm always trying to, like, every night I have a series of questions. I say, okay, like, what did you do today? Was there any negative feelings that you had today? What were those about? And were you being an asshole today? If not, well, if you were, can you apologize? And do you have to, or should you make that right? And what can you do to make that right? I'm always constantly trying to be above my yesterday self.
Yes. And what's the saying? Both managers say they agree. They can relate with hearts and hands. They both agree. And so now I ask you today at this moment, in this conversation that you and I are having, what have you discovered about yourself?
And I'm very resilient. I'm a nice person to my core. It's not something that, I've learned I'm very genuine. I've learned I take myself seriously. I've learned that I to trust myself.
Yes. Did you learn that you've held on to anger?
Yes. Yeah. And that's part of the reason that makes me come into myself, and it makes me, because I'm always trying to analyze where my emotions come from.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what made me step out of my comfort zone to begin with. And I'm like, okay, are you really that upset with her? Are you really gonna probably die sooner than later without trying your very best to have mend this relationship? Because like at the same time, deep down, I know she's just a person. Deep down, I know she has her own series of issues. Deep down, I know that it's probably not what she wanted. Hopefully, I'm really fucking hoping that that's not what she fucking wanted for her life and family.
Well,
I take that, and I'm just like, okay, try. Are you sure? Are you sure you're not just being a bitch? I fight with myself. I'm like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure I'm not being a bitch. I'm pretty sure she's a bitch. But all right, let's go try one last time. And it just bit me in the eye.
Well,
and that's what I get for not trusting myself.
I hear you, but I want you to hear yourself. That is one of Vibe Talk's first things, is you hearing yourself. You having the power to be able to change yourself, because you can't change others.
Oh God, I love that. I love that. That's what I try to tell everybody, because like I'm in this relationship too now.
You have to tell yourself that.
Not really a relationship, but
Stacy. Mm-hmm. You must tell yourself that, not others. Because I need you to get that. Because you said something that was really profound here today. You want peace, but you have this anger. In order to receive that peace of heart and peace of mind, you must understand that that's within your power. No matter what is happening around us, to us, in front of us, behind us, I want you to learn how to gain access to yourself. Because I hear you say others, 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 others. And my manager just sent me something to say to listen, and I am listening. But at the same point, I want you to hear yourself with understanding. You're saying others, but I need you to say to Stacy. And I want you to try something today, Stacy. Do you have a mirror? Yeah, because my assistant manager just brought the mirror up.
Yeah, I mean,
Hold on.
I don't mean to sound conceited or
Stacy,
vapid,
Stacy.
I don't have a problem with myself.
Hello, hello,
I really don't have
hello.
a problem with me. I don't.
Okay, so you don't have.
My challenge is dealing with others.
Your challenge is dealing, and you're fine.
Yeah, because I feel like I am. I feel like
you're fine.
Like I said, like I try. I go way out of my way.
Yeah.
To make sure that I'm okay with myself. And again, like I said, this was a very hard thing for me to do, to even think about speaking to my mother. But again, because I wanted to make sure that my moral alignment inside me was okay. And,
here's a point for you. Here's a point. Wow. Okay. Brianna, I appreciate your thought. She says she's been there with her mother before. She says, until I changed how I looked at her, did I change how I react to her without anger, but with acceptance. That's my point. I thank you for your call. We hope that you're going to join us all this week on Facing Challenges. Our number, can you please put that up for her, Trish? If you want to get a hold of me and you want to really talk about this and you know, it's really important, please and thank you. We also have a Facebook page. Our number here is 661-503-8993. Thank you so much for your call, and we hope that we have helped you to face your challenges. Have a good day, Stacy. I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank every last one of you for your thought. Sometimes you do want to help others. And I thank you guys. Josh, I was seeing you, and Josh, I loved how you said, and I was trying to get that out. Josh says it took him some time to learn how to love himself. It was difficult because I first had to find out who I was. Thank you. Josh also says people who are difficult to deal with usually are just protecting their anger about themselves onto you. Yes. So we want to listen. Brianna just gave me that reminder to listen in. I did that, and I'm so grateful. But sometimes we have to do the exercise of talking to ourselves as well as listening to ourselves. And when you talk and talk and talk and talk, my hands are tied. So we do hope that you will listen all this week. You guys are going to be such a beautiful help. Thank you all. Thank you for staying on me, Brianna, because I got a message from Brianna, but I need people to listen to themselves. And when you say there's nothing wrong with you and everybody else, well, that's when my hands are tied. That's why, thank you, Trish, for bringing up the mirror. She says, it comes down to you, the person you see in the mirror. That was exactly the point I was trying to make. Thank you for that, Trish. Wow. What a good group we have in here. Facing our challenges. We're just about out of time. Brianna, could you close us out? And we thank you, Stacy, for your call. Thank you, Trish, for the likes. We reached number 1 today. Number 1. How about that? Brianna, would you close us out? And thank you both. You both just came out of the water. Thank you so much. We thank you, Josh. And I want to thank Stuart. Stuart, you've been awful quiet today. Brianna's question of the day. Thank you, Bri. What did you learn about yourself today? And what was your experience here today? We want to say thank you to Trisha's mom for joining in the conversation. So I think this week is going to be powerfully moving. What did you learn about yourself today, and what was your experience here today? All this week, we're going to be facing our lions. Thank you, Brianna, for keeping on me, and thank you, Trish, for your input about the mirror, because you all said, and you wrapped that up very nicely. I cannot help anyone until they look and help themselves. We don't play the blame game. We listen. We listen politely. And if you say you're fine, my hands are tied. See, because I like to get down to the heart of the matter. And that's not going to happen in a day. Some of you are more willing. You're more accepting. You're more able to say, this is what I see. Trish talked about the mirror. Thank you, Trish. I have the best managers. I honestly do. I honestly do. I can't be more prouder of those two. Thank you so much. Tomorrow we are facing the Lions again. And before we go, I want everybody in here today to write back. What did you learn about yourself today? And what was your experience? Our manager, Brianna, says, I learned I have to be more accepting of myself and the challenges I go through. I am not alone, even though sometimes I feel it. My experience here today was a struggle. I really just want to be in bed. But I have to work. Another thing, as a mom, I don't have a choice to do right now. I love you all. We love you too, and we know. We took a vote on you, remember? We already know that you're truthful and honest. Trish says her experience here was triggering. What did you learn about yourself today, Trish? I've learned that challenges make you strong, and I should face them head on. Josh says, I've learned that I'm grateful for going through tough times because it's shown me just how much I've grown. He says, wow, I didn't realize I wrote the exact same thing as Trish. I love that. No, you're good. You're good. I just wrapped up the call, honey, because I want you to be able to do the mirror thing. This is to the caller, Stacy. Do the mirror thing. And tomorrow, if you should decide you want to come and ask yourself questions. Like the first one, what does Stacy want? What does Stacy need to be able to get to that peace? You started with anger. Because it's really not about others. is about who you are. And that's why when Brianna said about the change, she understood, she could relate, but she realized that she had to change herself. Josh says, for a long time, I didn't know how to answer questions like that. Josh, you've been doing just fine. You've been in here, what, how many days? 2? And you're like an old soul. You're an old soul. Today's, Stacy, what state are you listening in from, please? And Josh, that's our assistant manager says, go ahead. Go ahead, Josh. I see you with hearts and clapping. Yes, he has. Stacy, what state are you listening in from, sweetie? And we hope that this is not the last day. Washington. So Washington, Florida, South Carolina, Kentucky, and Palmdale, California is in here today. Debbie's in here today. Debbie, you're in California too, right? So we hope that we've helped you. We love you guys. Please join us again. Josh says, like when someone would ask me what my goals were and stuff like that, I couldn't answer because I didn't know. You're very welcome. And come back tomorrow, Stacy. Stacy, the reason why I closed that conversation out, because I want you to be able to do the mirror. And you can do it with me. You can call me. You can text. That is for Vibe Talk, 661-503-8993. It's all free here, okay? I want to say thank you for our first day of Facing the Lions. We have all week long. How did you guys feel about this conversation? Peace. Did you like it, love it, or hate it? Trish says she loved it. Stacy said it was nice. Because we're going to be talking. She says she's excited. See, I felt the need that we needed to really do this again. Josh says he enjoyed it. Josh, thank you. And hugs to Grayson. Please give him a hug for me. She says, I'm happy to see an open space for people. Yes, yes. But I want you to do the mirror thing, okay? Do the mirror. Stand in front of a mirror and let me know how that goes. You can always connect with me. You can always. Brianna says she loves being here. And Trish, thank you. And thank your mom. Because I put her on the spot. I didn't mean to, but, I know that she's raising kids. And your mom has enough experience to help us, even with me with 2 kids. She has experience enough to be able to help us to feel when we're frustrated and we're at our wits' end, how she's doing it. So I thank you guys for helping us face our lions. We are going to be right back here tomorrow. We're going to face our lions together. Thank you so much, Stacy, for your phone call. I want you to continue to repeat in your mirror each day. I am Stacy. I want peace of mind, peace of heart. I want to let go of the negative with my mother. And most of all, I am Stacy. And I'm ready to face my lion, whatever it is. I wish you all to face your lion. And as we go out of here today, I would like to play Facing the Lion. Thanks to Trish. You are supported. You are loved. We'll be right back here tomorrow. Please invite people. Please tag people in our Facing the Lion. Trish, thank you so much for the work you did today with bringing posting. And Stuart, Thank you for being here. We appreciate and love you. All of you. What a great group we have. Just really great, guys. I'm so very thankful for all of you. I wish you more facing the Lions. And Michaela, we're just about done here. If you want to hear it in its entirety, we will post it right on the Facebook after we're done. It's live recorded and it's live recorded here. Thank you guys for joining Facing the Lions today. Have a good day. Tonight's discussion in Facing the Lion is always. And this is all Trish's music. And so I ask You're welcome. Today, as we are going to be facing our lions. All of the music you guys hear here is because of Trish. We love you, Trish. Thank you, all of you. That was challenging to you. Thank you for helping to face our lions. Have a good day, everyone.